Welcome to the Hold to Talk podcast with your host, Juliet
and Abby. And today we have the much anticipated husbands who have decided to join us. Are you nervous? You're working in your chair.
We've decided it's much anticipated, not anybody else.
No, although on your lives, it has very much been anticipated. So I'm going to intro Ollie. Juliet's going to intro Mike. Ollie is Juliet's husband. Mike is my husband. So today we're talking with my brother-in-law, a sports fanatic, UFO believer, gym goer, foodie, and the world's grumpiest social butterfly. He moved to the US with my sister. He's a great uncle and somehow manages to make being grumpy kind of lovable. Hey.
I think that's pretty accurate. A grumpy social butterfly. I've not heard that before, but I think it's pretty accurate.
Thank you. Oh, there's no end to that. Go on then, Juliet, your turn.
This was my idea, and this is my ideas, but it's with the help of ChatGPT. So today's guest is my brother-in-law, Michael, aka Mike. He might be the most fascinating and confusing Dane you'll ever meet. Not only did he fight in Afghanistan, but he also has some really questionable eating habits. We're talking ketchup on bolognese, béarnaise sauce on everything, and yes, cheese on digestive biscuits.
But that's not even the strangest food choices, to be honest with you.
No, I forgot. I just know that he eats weird.
That was a conservative
and
intro.
he eats like the 3-second rule doesn't apply. It will just... It's like...
He's our trash can.
As if you don't have two huskies.
Exactly. So, Ollie, the first question that I'm going to ask you, because we're going to do this podcast as a more interview style podcast. So what was the biggest culture shock you found moving abroad?
Ooh, good one. I think it's probably the sports culture, which I think is probably a predictable answer coming from me. But coming from the UK, where we have the Premier League, one sporting thing that we all kind of get around and watch, everybody supports different teams. Whereas when you come to the US, you have your one league and each city has a team. So whether it's hockey, baseball, basketball, everybody's kind of rooting at the same time. So like we get into work on a Monday and everybody talks about the Patriots. And it's kind of like, it's quite nice because you're all like a family together, all kind of talking about it, and you're suffering for the same reasons.
We're always suffering.
We're all celebrating for the same reasons.
Can I ask, if you moved to, say, Florida, would you have to change to... Is it like England, where if you move to Liverpool, you still support West Ham?
No, I think people are loyal to their teams. I do think there is... I don't know. I think especially in Boston, like there's just a lot of people that I work with are from here.
Yeah.
A lot of people are locals. I work for a company that is based in Boston. This is our headquarters.
Yeah. Do you want to asking the same question? Or are you going to...
I mean, you can answer that if you want to, but I was going to ask more like, we know that you've lived in so many different countries. You can tell how many countries that you've lived in. I won't speak for you, but I personally want to know like what you have preferred and why. Like, what's your favourite out of all of those and why?
Maybe tell everyone where you've lived first so they can see.
Yeah, so obviously I was born in Denmark, so I've lived there for quite a while. And then I guess my first place where I lived outside of Denmark, which doesn't really count, was Afghanistan, but wasn't really a holiday. So
I feel like a holiday now we have kids.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, there are some days where I wish I was back. But
he always says that.
I also tried to live in Egypt. I did not enjoy that. Like I enjoyed trying it. Like it was a very conscious choice of me to try and live in another Muslim country without being at war in a Muslim country. Like remove some prejudice I might have had from being in Afghanistan, but I didn't like it there at all. Also, I lived in right in the second revolution whilst they were having it there. So
Another war zone.
Another war.
I thought I could be a travel guide, and 2 months later they were burning cars in front of our office. And I lived in China for three months, studied Kung Fu with the Shaolin monks for a little bit. Studied Kung Fu, don't make me sound like I can do any of that. Like I had a knee injury from Afghanistan that I had ignored. They started sending me to all these sort of witch doctors. At one point, they dragged me out of my bed and said, we can fix your knee. We walked across this muddy field for an hour. It felt like me and Daniel, one of my best friends, and we ended in this mud hut where this old lady just laid me down and started putting all these cups on me. And she put a towel on me, threw gasoline on the towel and set it on fire.
Set you on fire?
Normal. Okay, yeah.
I didn't
I guess the question is, did it work? Even a little bit.
You know what? I was very sore from all the martial arts training. I had no soreness. Almost like magic. I was not sore in a single muscle except for my knee. That was still so yeah. And at one point I had to go home and have surgery in it. I did forfeit at the end. But like China was a very different experience. Again, I didn't live there as a normal person. I went there for like quite a specific experience. So didn't enjoy Beijing, but I did enjoy the countryside and the people there. They were very lovely. Then I moved to the US for a bit and studied. Well, first I went and surfed for 3 months and did nothing. Obviously loved that in San Diego. I chose to go study in Kentucky in a little private university called Campbellsville University. And I had quite a couple of like scholarship, not real scholarship, like you guys know them, but like offers that I could go and study there and they would pay some of it. I thought it sounded really extreme. It was like in a dry
Just want to
state.
be something extreme.
The
It sounded-
thrill of being set on fire in China just wasn't enough for you. I need more.
I am the cause of a lot of my choices that are my own. And over 6 months studying, studied with an amazing professor, Max Weiss. She's one of the senators now, I think, in Kentucky. Obviously, it was right in a place where me from Denmark, very liberal country, to a place where we had to go to church every Sunday. But I've always been of the mind of like trying these things before judging them. And I loved it. I had made some great friends there, really had an amazing time, went and saw North Carolina while I was there. It was one of my favorite places to live, was actually there. Then I moved to UK.
He loved it.
He loved the UK, guys. That's his favourite. His favourite.
I would not move back to the UK.
All these random places, and the UK is the place
Yeah,
you've known about.
yeah,
Actually,
like-
you lived in Egypt.
Like obviously I had some amazing times. I had my kids there. I met up his family. I would say the best place I've lived, we then moved to Portugal. And I will say probably the best place I've lived so far as an overall safety for my kids. Like the cost to live here is fair. Like there's some other things that I don't like here, but there's no perfect places.
So, do you think you're happier in Portugal because you're like more settled in your life, though? Like, obviously, you're much younger living in these other places.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like, and I think I'm more settled as well because it takes a lot of boxes that I always wanted, like in terms of the weather. The
Yeah.
sun has always been a big deal for me. Like I get really bad skin, eczema and stuff like that. So I don't have any of that here. Like in UK, for example, I didn't enjoy it, but I was also an ass. Like, so
Do we go into that?
I think, but also the UK culture and me didn't mingle. But I think it's also the fact that I don't have to work 90 hours a week to make a living here.
Ollie,
Yeah.
can you tell us what the funniest misunderstanding / awkward moment you've had since moving to the US?
Well, you really,
Oh, I know. Sorry, I won't answer him.
you might need to help me because honestly,
She's whispering in his ear.
what?
Is it cheating?
This isn't even a cultural misunderstanding. This was just me in just pure.
Being
awkwardness.
honest.
We're
When-
in Arcadia.
Yeah, we're in Acadia National Park. And like Americans, they just love to say hi to people, especially like in a bit more of a rural area. They all want to say hi and want to talk to you. And so we're like, on a dog walk. It was our final day there. And we're just, I'm used to like saying hi to everyone every single day, right? And so I'm walking towards this guy and we're probably 50 feet away from each other, already made eye contact and kind of like nodded, right? And so like, I'm kind of thinking, well, I don't have to say hello again, do I? And like, we're walking towards each other. I look down, I'm like, look back at the dog. Okay, like, then I'll see him again. We're still making eye contact. We're about 20 feet away. Not that I'm an awkward person, but I'm like, I don't need to keep like looking at you, right in each other's faces at this point. And he looks me right in my eyes and was like, hey, how you doing? And I just went, I did like a half smile and just bit my tongue.
You have to describe what you did so that people who are listening.
Yeah, I literally like smiled with my teeth, but like bit into my tongue at the same time and like just kind of like made a little noise. Like I wasn't sure whether to say, hey, how are you? So I was just like,
Why didn't you just go with a hi?
I don't fucking know, mate.
So then the worst part about it was after I didn't know this had happened because I was walking ahead with Malibu and Arthur was being slow. So then we got to like a stop area and he goes to me, Juliet, I'm just mortified. I was like, what's happened? And he was like, I just bit my tongue at another guy. And he was just like, I had it.
I just looked at another grown man in his face and bit my tongue.
What do you think? What do you think he thought?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think about it every day. It haunts me. The most
It's one of
awkward
those
thing I've done.
moments where someone offers you like a coffee and they're like, I enjoy your coffee. And you're like, you too. But you're like,
Yeah, is that?
Just- Oh my God, now
Like,
I've got to live with that forever. I don't really have like those awkward moments on a daily basis. A lot of the people I work with are the same people I worked with in the UK. Even when we first moved here, we knew them already. They get my mannerisms and the way I talk. So I think I've probably adapted and I've become more American over time. But I think they got me
did
already.
any of them look different than how you expected? Because obviously you see people on Zoom and then
Yeah.
you meet them, you're like, you're
Yeah.
taller than I thought, or
Yeah. So yeah, people that are taller, people that are shorter. Even now, like I meet people, I'm just like, what the hell? That's you.
I've been going on lives on our TikTok, if anyone's been watching our TikTok, and I don't know how it actually came about, but it got
I remember we were talking about like homelessness, weren't we?
yeah, and they were telling us how 60% of the homeless people are veterans in America, and that's how it kind of came up that my brother-in-law is actually a veteran, and then it kind of like came up like how is he treated in the UK like as a veteran and how is treated. So people were really interested in your story and think that it would be interesting to hear some of your stories or whatever you're comfortable sharing. I can ask like specific questions that can
I've got some questions.
what inspired you to go into the military.
I was in Afghanistan. It was under U.S. command. I was I fought for NATO, and I was in the Danish army. Well, what made me go into the army? Strangely enough, like since I was a kid, I always just wanted to be a soldier. That's like what my family remembers about me. That's what I wanted to be. My stepdad was an officer in the Danish army, and I think I looked up to him a lot. So I think that influenced me. Some very childish, immature looks on what being a soldier is. Like I joined the Danish Royal Guards. I had a choice between joining them and then someone called Dragoons up in Holstebro. But since I knew the Royal Danish Guards were going to Afghanistan, I chose them. So I purposely chose that I was going to train for war. It is not as low cost and low risk as that sounds. I went to Afghanistan and I was with what's called ISAF 8 in Denmark, was like the 8th team that we'd sent down there as a combat infantry for the Danish Royal Guards, second in command for a small squad in a platoon. And then I was promoted to squad leader while I was there. I think I was 20 years old. It sounds young now, and it is young, but it is also like young men go to war. Like, you couldn't make me do that now. Like, first of all, my knees would still be staying, but my platoon leader was, I think, late 20s, and like had the responsibility for 40 young men. Like, it's crazy, like to think that. And I was there for 6-7 months, like, and I'm not gonna like sit here and sugarcoat it. Like, it was for me like an amazing experience and a horrific experience at the same time. Like I lost some friends there that got shot and killed. Like my friend Stefan got shot and killed, which was back then was a terrifying experience. Until that moment, we had gone in there and we were doing really well as a platoon. We were engaging the enemy and we were creating a safer area for the locals in that area. Like, it wasn't that we just went in there like it's shown on TV and we just started smashing doors in and like wanting to overtake or kick out the Taliban. That's not how it was. Like, our directive was to create a safer environment for the civilians who live there. And the best way to do that is not fighting in amongst the civilians with rivers and jungle and like 2-3 meter high, like weed plants and corn plants or whatever it was. And then just walking around, showing presence and waiting to be attacked. We did a lot of good. We helped a lot of infrastructure being built in all of those areas. And
girls.
we helped build a girls' school there, which was for us a really good, like a really good mission. Like, it helps you like kind of justify why you're there. Then we got in an ambush once where one of our friends died. Stefan got shot and killed in that moment. And I think that's when it all changed. We were not boys anymore. Like, suddenly you saw like Stefan got shot through the arm, but unfortunately it hit like some vital organs and he died. Trying not to be too graphic here, but it was also out of respect for Joseph and his wife. But it was like suddenly you saw your own mortality, because you're suddenly in an environment where you've like just seen someone when you went out that morning, he was alive and well, you were bantering around, boom, he's gone. Like, and you are
Any of you?
yeah, exactly. Like, but before then, like it's like you think you're
Invincible.
invincible. Like,
Yeah.
you've never seen anyone die at 19. Like, most people haven't. And like every firefight you've been in, you've been the superior war machine. Stephen, a good friend of mine, like, was just gone. There's no like in games like you just say, oh well, that didn't go well. Let's reset and try again. And then Stephen is there. No, it's just you standing there, and there was nothing to do. Like, there was nothing we could do. We tried throughout that whole 3 hours or whatever it took, getting out of the ambush and getting him on the helicopter. At any point there, we thought he might have lived. But when the doctors then gave us the feedback. Like, shout out to the Americans here. Like, these guys came and flew in the Black Hawks to get him out. And what they did in that helicopter to land where we were in the middle of the front lines was unbelievable. We know that they probably weren't allowed to land at that point because we hadn't secured the area fully, but what they did there was incredible. You can't do anything, like, and then it changes. Like, suddenly you are afraid.
Like, do you want to go home? Are you just like, I have to go home, like I'm gonna die?
In the Danish army, I don't know, it might be the same in the US, but if you, like, before you go, you write down who you want to be your coffin bearers, you write down how you want your funeral to be, and the army takes care of all of it. And he had then written down me and some of the other guys. So I had to be his honor guard. So I had to take his coffin home. So I just have to, like, go straight away with him into main base and then fly home with the coffin. I would rather have stayed behind, to be very honest. Like, I felt honored that I had to do it, but we had to carry the coffin out of the airplane and then deliver it to the family. And that was horrific. Like, I felt so sick, and we all did, like, and we just had to stand there. And I remember this, the dumbest comment I've ever had was the field priest, or the priest that was in the airplane, that said to us, "Make sure you don't cry, boys." And like we'd been crying the whole time. And of course we were going to cry. Like, that was our friend there, like, we were handing over. And so I know that the guys who had to stay back, they were quite afraid after that. It's just lace up your boots and get out there. Like, to be honest, like, most of us just wanted to go back out and kick ass and have simplest feeling in the world is revenge. Coming back was terrifying because we'd been out then. Like, the last patrol we walked was someone dying. And then we get like 4 or 5 days off, and then we're back in it. You got to get back on the bike.
Quit. Can you say, like, I don't want to go back? That scared me. I don't want to go backwards. That you cannot quit. Like, you're enrolled to go back.
The Danish army is a professional army. There's no one forced. If you came and said, I can't do this, you would be
So you
sent
could have
home.
done that. You could.
I don't think anyone, at least not me and my comrades, like, none of us would want to keep someone that doesn't want to be there. Their mind is somewhere else. We want 100% focus when you're out there. Like, we were at the front lines. Like, there's no losing concentration, like, because you were walking during our mission. We were walking through constantly just IEDs, and we walk single column for kilometers because there's so many IEDs and mines in that area. So you don't want someone who doesn't want to be there. I was not of that mindset. Like, I was shit scared when I came out to my first patrol after coming back. I didn't want to be afraid, but you are. I guess this is what PTSD is a lot about, is that, like, when we come back there, first thing that hits me is the smell of the dirt and the sand, and like that iron gate that we walked out of to go on patrols, then go do your job, because it was our job. And
So when they murdered your friend, and then do you then think instantly, like, I hate them? They're obviously still human beings, and obviously there's people that live there. And how do you, like, separate?
They're like the same as you, but the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they fought for was very different. Like,
Yeah.
I think the problem with it is that, like, they had an ideology that they fought for, and we were there for a mission and a job. We're professional soldiers sent there. They could have sent us to any other place, and we would have done the same job to the best of our ability. They were not. They were there believing that it's either victory or death. So I didn't hate them. I didn't agree. Like, I want to make that very clear. I thought what they were doing there, some of those Taliban commanders, and so I will never agree with. Like, the way they treat women and kids there, like, disgusting, which is one of the reasons why I felt compelled to also go to Afghanistan. But I think it's always easy to try and see these things black and white when in reality they're not. And who could I hate? I didn't even know the guy who shot Stefan. Like, I wouldn't be able to point him out in a lineup. What I hated afterwards was that, I think many years later, was that he had to die for something that, when NATO and the US pulled out of Afghanistan, just seemed so meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, what? Like, that girls' school got shut down. The wells we built probably got blown to bits. Like, it's like, why is it that, like, we sacrifice so many lives for something like that, for them to think that we could do it in 10, 15 years? I loved my time in the army. I loved my brothers in arms. I had a great time, but it wasn't for me at the end. Like, you are not as professional as you are as afterwards, when you see how bad it can get if you don't do things right. And we did great. I was under one of the best leaders I've ever had. I had responsibility for 8 other guys, and all I wanted was to go home so that it wasn't my responsibility anymore. When I got back home in the airport, I just didn't want that responsibility anymore as 20 years old.
How did these experiences shape how you see home?
How I see home.
Because you then lived in loads of different places after that. So do you think you were running, or do you think that you were Why didn't you, like, go home, stay at home?
I think I was also running way before the army. Like, give some insights into me. Like, when I was 18, I tried to join the French Front Legion because the Danish army, no, when I was 17, because the Danish army didn't have time until 6 months after. I grew up in a different world, like very chaotic childhood. So I think I was always running. And I think, yes, when I came back from Afghanistan, I had some serious PTSD, whether people believe in PTSD. When you get back, they send you to a mandatory therapist who then says whether or not you need more or not. And each and every soldier goes in there and they know that if they don't answer correctly these questions, they have to stay in the barracks for a bit longer. And we all just want to go and have some vacation. So you just bullshit your way through those therapist interviews. Like, you're not ready for that conversation. You're not mature enough. Like, you haven't been hit yet. It comes, as with me, many years later. So yeah, I think it shaped me in the way that, like, if I stood still for too long, and I would have to deal with that. And I had to run away from it for a little bit because I also wasn't ready to deal with it.
Have you dealt with it now?
Yeah. I think I did EMDR therapy for it. And if anyone out there is struggling, like, for me, I tried all of the ways, but EMDR therapy, it's like a miracle drug. It just took away all the nightmares, all the like sleepless nights. Was just a game changer. Right? I don't have any of those things anymore.
Just me decided from that.
Just one nightmare left, but no EMDR.
If anything's going to send you back to China to get set on fire, it's Abby.
Really fun.
I would have gone by now. That's a different kind of PTSD.
Thanks for sharing. That was
Yeah.
really sad.
Thank you
And
so much. Yeah,
That was good.
that was
Okay.
amazing. I could listen to those stories forever.
You've
I'm
got
actually
loads, so if you want
So
more,
if anyone wants more, Mike, then let us know because it's so
Become-
interesting.
When me and Mike drove down to Florida last year, we shared a lot of those.
Yeah.
It was 20 hours, and I was sitting there like,
Do you know what's funny is Ollie just said we shared, and Ollie
Yeah.
hasn't done anything.
I was
in his
going to
life.
ask you. So
So-
what did you share? I was like, in stark contrast.
some of those stories can't be shared on a
No, no.
podcast.
hey, it's between
Stop.
us, brothers in arms.
Yeah, exactly. When you've done 24 hours of straight driving from one state to the other
That's the hardest
And
thing
this-
Ollie's done in his whole life.
and listen to all UFO podcasts with Joe Rogan as we could. We literally
Yeah.
listened to all of them.
But in stark contrast, Ollie, you had a completely different upbringing than Mike, obviously.
Yes.
So going into a bit more detail about your upbringing, considering that you pretty much spent your life in the UK, how big a move was it then to say, okay, I moved out of my parents' house and lived with Juliet, which was about 20 minutes from my parents' house. I'm now going to go to the US. Like, how that was such a massive move. What was the process with that?
Funny because the day that me and Juliet had already talked about it a few times about moving, and we always said that we'd like to go to the US. But the day that my boss called me and said that it was an actual possibility, it was a no-brainer. Like, literally, I called Juliet up and I was like, yeah, like this actually might be on the cards. And like, this is before anything was dead certain.
You mentioned it to your boss before, or was it completely out of the blue?
Not really. Like, we'd kind of mentioned it in passing, and then he came up with it like pretty quickly after I mentioned it in passing. It was almost, I don't believe in fate, but like almost.
Mike?
Do I have to raise my hand?
Do you need to talk more? I mean, Ollie,
what do you want to say?
I just wanted to know if Boston was the only option you had.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, so it was. So my company are headquartered here. So I was in the same office in London. So it was like, oh, there's a role in Boston. It's promotion. Like, do you want to go?
Yes.
So yeah, to go back to the question, it was a no-brainer. I called Juliet up and I was like, oh my God, like this might actually be a possibility. She was like, yeah.
We were like crying.
Prior to this, Juliet had been looking at other jobs. She'd had 2 jobs that said they were going to move you over, but to California
California and Austin, Texas.
and Austin, Texas. And then
Yes.
they fell through. So then this was like,
Yeah.
big.
And then after that, I called Juliet, and then the next thing I did was call my mum, naturally. And it wasn't like oh, what do you think? It was like oh yeah, I'm going to America, by the way.
What did your mum say?
She was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You have to go.
His
Oh,
parents,
was she?
his
Yeah.
parents are amazing.
Yeah,
aren't
I
they?
think my mum's a career woman, so I think, and she always says that she has regrets about not making the same move as me. She
I
had
think
the same
probably more so
opportunities.
now, right? More so now than before. Now she's actually seen how it is for you.
Yeah, like she had pretty much the same opportunities that we had, but just didn't take them. And she had a great career, but like it could have been so different. I could have grown up here.
Was she scared?
Amazing career. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Ollie's mum is a boss woman.
She is.
In
She
London
is.
City, she's one of the only females in her industry.
The probably the biggest move that we could have made in her career was when I was around 14, 15. So I think that she felt it was just a bit late for
Yeah.
me. It would have been a huge upheaval for my life. Looking back, maybe selfishly, I'm thinking, yeah, I would have gone like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Easy, I would have had an American, cute little American. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, what a shame. But to answer your question, yeah, it was a big deal. And I don't think I realized how big of a deal it was until probably the day that we left. That was the
Yeah.
only time I ever felt sad about it. Before then, I was just buzzing the whole time.
At least
Like,
very like in the moment.
yeah, I live every day on exactly that day and exactly that moment.
And I'm
It's
so
amazing.
envious of
I know I wish. He's
So-
amazing, but he helps me with that a bit more because
Yeah.
I'm with him. But like that we look like you were just like,
literally anxious about
Very
anxious
vague.
about the future, depressed about the past.
no, it's not an easy thing. And like Ollie's amazing at that. I don't know how he does it, but every
No,
time
yeah.
he resets the button and it's like this day is today. Like the day that we left, like, he was a blobosaurus. Like we were both were. I scream cried into Ollie's mum's face.
Yeah.
I grabbed hold of him. Like, ah!
You?
It was so ugly.
Yeah.
Like you held your dad and like you were both crying. It was like so sad.
It was sad.
Do you cry now when they leave because they've visited you? Do you now do that when they go? No, you're just
No.
like, go.
Sometimes I get like a little bit sad and I think,
When-
oh, I do miss them, or like there's, little things that I wish they could be here to experience. And then, I turn the TV on and forget about it.
Every time they come, he goes, so when you coming back?
Yeah. Yeah, I never want them to leave. I always want them to come again. I never want them to leave, but like, I know it's inevitable. I know I made my decision and that's
Yeah.
what I've got to live with.
Yeah. I have another question that I would like you both to answer, but we'll start with Mike and go back to Ollie. And the question is, what do you envy about each other's paths?
Past.
Path.
I thought you said parts. I was thinking, what?
Like, what do you envy about each other's paths? Because they're so counter.
TMB about each other's part.
And what do we
Like, what would you say you envied about Ollie's path?
the path?
Path. How difficult is this word?
That's it. The opportunity to like go work in Boston. I think like that's a cool thing. I think that's something to be admired, is being like promoted into that position that a lot of people would want. I'm very, very jealous of his very stable upbringing. I would love to have had his stable upbringing and his parents.
Oh,
I love
and
that
his
as
lovely
well.
parents' home, yeah.
I think it's like, I think the grass is always greener, right? No, I don't sit here and think, oh my God, I wish I was on the front line. Like, I'll be honest, it's incredibly admirable, but it's incredibly scary to most people. So, I sit there and I think, what a life and what a story you have to tell. I don't have that. I talk about my like teenage years and my like early 20s. I don't have anything to really teach anyone. I was just like, hang around with the boys and we're not drinking. Like, yeah,
Literally.
yeah. And like, what story have I got to tell my kids about my 20s? Not much. So it's a different
Don't do drugs.
at the same time, like I live quite a conservative life. Like I would never, like you guys have moved to Portugal because that's what you wanted. Like you just got up and said, hey, this is what we want and we're going to go and live the life that we want to live. Like I would never do that because I'm like, I need a plan. We were never just going to get up and
No.
just like go to America and just be like, hey, let's just work it out.
No way.
Like,
We're both like that, aren't we? We can't.
yeah, that scares the shit out of me.
Good answers, both of you. We're going to play a game now. We're going to do Mr. and Mrs.
A nice fun.
Well, that's fun because she loves it all. Fun. So, who is the most likely to get lost in the city? Juliet.
Yeah, Juliet all day long.
I call Ollie up still now. I've walked around the city about a million times. I'm like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am.
Ollie's super capable. So
All right, the next one. Who is the most likely to order something weird off of a food menu?
Ollie.
Me, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd have said that. Who is the most likely to move away again?
Juliet,
Why?
because I don't want to leave Boston.
Oh yeah, Ollie's very Bostonian. Yeah, me.
Yeah, I love
me.
it here.
Yeah, you could have moved.
Yeah, Florida, South Carolina, California. I could see Juliet in a few different other places. I think it was up to me, we'd stay here for a long, long time.
Does the cold not really bother you?
I'll take the good with the bad. The summers are awesome,
He loves Massachusetts.
and I love the city.
And it's
Yes.
so walkable. It's really cool. Who
He
would,
didn't
you
organise the
say,
fun.
who would you say is the funniest?
me.
Ollie's
Like I am. I used to be fat and funny, so like that is my character.
Do you know what that is her claim to fame? You can't take that from her. She used to be that.
Juliet is very funny. I'll give you
She is
that.
funny. She's a great storyteller.
A great storyteller, yeah. Very witty, very clever.
Very witty.
Not that you're not.
I'm not going to say that you're funnier than me. I'm just going to say that you're very funny.
No. Second. Who do you think loves the dogs the most?
Me.
Oh, yeah, Juliet.
I don't know.
I
I
love
feel like it's Ollie.
I think Ollie loves.
He does more for the dogs. Juliet
There's always a good.
talks more to the dogs. That's kind of my vibe of what happens.
Literally, I have a language with the dogs.
Yeah.
If I'm at home alone with the dogs, they might as well be alone because I'm usually doing something. I'm working. Juliet is like spending time with them.
Yeah.
Who's in best shape?
Oh, Juliet.
Juliet.
Juliet's in way better shape than me.
Who spends more money?
I save a lot of money. I'm a good saver.
I would say I waste more money.
So you spend more money, Ralph.
Juliet probably spends more, but like gets something out of it, like gets clothes. I just get like beer.
He'll go on a night out with his friends and he spend like $300, and I'm like, what the hell? But I'll like buy a nice coat for winter for it with it.
You can ask us questions
Don't
now.
ask us.
I haven't prepped for this. I'm just going to ask off the cuff.
Okay.
You haven't prepped. You knew this was coming.
Let's start off really easy. Who's the best cook?
Mike.
Me?
Mike. Like, although the kids have liked the last
Abby,
video,
no.
Not the question.
but I'm not the
Question.
best cook. I'm terrible. Yeah.
I got one.
Go on then.
Who do you think would be more likely to move home?
Abby.
Me. Yeah.
Really, I think
Yeah.
Abby.
What, as in the UK or Denmark?
UK.
Could be both.
Because I think we're more likely to go to Denmark.
Do you think Mike wants to go to Denmark more than you want to go to England?
Yeah, right now, yeah. So
Okay.
he's speaking about it, like we've spoken about it, and he's like, but it's really cold, like it's
Mhm.
really dark.
I just don't want
Cold and-
flaky eyelids again. That's like
They go really flaky.
flaky dryness.
It's an
eyelids.
it.
Who do you think the kids like more?
No, I don't know.
That's quick.
I think it's very different. I think they respect Mike more, and I think they probably think I'm more fun. But when Mike's having fun, it's like a big deal. If Mike's going in the swimming pool, they're in that pool because they know they're going to. If I'm in the pool, they'll look and think, is she in the mood? Or is she
Pulled my
just
back
swimming?
yesterday. Heavy a lot, but now because they can game with me, I can play computer with them. I'm a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're top dog and they're boys, so they're going to love that.
Yeah, like it's already starting to happen. Like they'll come and snuggle with me, or if they're hurt, they're like, because he's got no empathy. Like Harrison comes in with like a paper cut, and Mike's like, just go deal with it. Whereas I'm like, oh, let's do a plaster.
I've been in the army. Go deal with it.
He's like, literally, do you need me to chop it off, or is it all right? Like, so yeah.
I've got a good one. Who out of the two of you knows the most Portuguese and can make like their way around? Abby?
Really?
Oh, wow.
I'm shocked.
He's horrific. Very well.
But obviously,
So I definitely, but to be fair, I did 3 months, 9 hours a week learning Portuguese. I should be better than I am.
I knew that.
We're going to finish off with 2 questions. Ollie, you can be the first one I ask. So can you predict where you guys will be in 5 years' time? What will life look like for you guys?
5 years is just long enough that we might be
Exactly.
elsewhere.
Exactly.
I think we're going to be here.
You're going to be in
I
Boston.
think we'll be in mass, yeah. I think we'll probably be outside the city by then.
Do you not think that would be like we've had too many winters, like we can't do it anymore?
Are you talking about yourself or Ollie, Julie? In that question. Do
Yeah,
you not hate the winter? Do you think we
I'm
would?
just checking.
I don't know, like 5 years is just enough time that I might be fed up of my company, fed up of like living in the city. We might have kids, who knows? Like all of these things are like unknowns. I'd say in like 10 years' time, all of those things would be definite.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
years time we'll have kids for sure.
Yeah, we'll have kids. I would have probably moved companies because otherwise I'm probably still in the same job, which is worrying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
There's potential that we could be living somewhere else because of a job opportunity.
When you say somewhere else, you mean a different state. You're not talking.
I'm talking a different state, yeah. I think we'll still be in the US.
But like, if say a job opportunity came up in another state, that could happen in the next 5 years,
Yeah.
potentially. And then you would move, wouldn't you? So you just don't know what's going to
I
happen.
think it'd be really hard for me to move at this point. Like right now, it's really hard
It's
for me.
really trying to convince him. Have you noticed? She's trying to tell him.
I
what his
love
future is.
Massachusetts, but I'm scared that I'm scared that if in 3 years I can't do the winters anymore because they're so brutal that I can't turn to him and say, I think we need to go somewhere else because he loves it so much.
You know what it is, right? I don't want to start again. Like that first year of like, not the first year, the first like 6 months was kind of tough. Like, we came in, had the winter, I had no mates. Like, yeah, I loved being here, but it wasn't the most fulfilling. It took us a while to like find our feet, right? I don't really want to do that again. And I've got good mates here now. We're settled. I know what parts of the city I like and what I don't, what things I like doing. So yeah.
You're a lot more settled now, Ollie, actually, than when I came to visit you and you were vomiting
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
You were nervous.
yeah.
Yeah.
See-
I mean, that doesn't change.
I arrived and come out and I'm like, there's vomit.
Yeah. Normal.
But you're a lot
Yeah,
more settled.
standard.
I definitely agree with you. Where do you think we'll be in the next 5 years?
Fucking
I
hell,
reckon
is it me
at
and you?
least another 2 kids.
I actually would put on the bingo card maybe an adopted kid.
Nah, I can't do it.
Also, he doesn't.
I would have loved to be the person who would do that. But like in the next 5 years, I could imagine us being here or potentially the US or Denmark.
Yeah.
Again, Denmark would be a choice we would make for our kids just because of the education and opportunities they get there. Like it's free education for them in Denmark, including you. Like you get paid to go to uni in Denmark. So
Oh my God, I have a question just on that. Sorry, this is really
go
random.
for it.
But like, say, because you have 3 boys, say, what would you do if your boys or one of them or all of them came to you and said, we want to be a soldier too?
Yeah. So we
Oh,
wouldn't be
God.
okay with that. Well,
I mean,
We-
let him on, because he's been there. He's been
No.
there.
no. I think,
Uh,
I mean, in this current climate, I'd lock them in a room
I'd be like so sad. And
because
like,
they'd be so naive about it.
no, I'd be very proud that they like. It depends on the reason. Like if they were like, I could see they're a bunch of psychopaths that just wanted to go and shoot guns. I'd be like, we get that out of your system. Like, but if it was because they believed in some higher cause or
Yeah.
there was a reason for them wanting to go fight for something that was bigger than themselves, I'd be scared, mindless, like, and probably would want to go with them, thinking that my old ass could do anything. But like,
60 years old, like, oh,
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go with them.
No, but
Well,
like-
who's going to be with me?
but
The bloody dog.
Your next husband, whoever you're with.
Right.
I don't
so
know.
would you be okay with it?
I would really hope that I hope that they don't choose that. I feel like
Mm.
I've done that for my
If
children.
knowing our kids, I'm pretty confident none of them have the balls to
They're
do
still
anything
very
like that.
young.
Harrison,
They're very young.
They're very young.
they're very young, but Harrison isn't a soldier.
But I wouldn't mind them going in and doing their like what's it called, the mandatory
Like they're going into the army.
in
National service.
The
yeah
national
national in
service.
Denmark you have national
Yeah, that's
service.
true.
Like,
That would.
I think that would be really good for them.
Mm.
Going to war, I would hope that there is no more wars, but I know that that's like wishful thinking. The army gives you a lot of good tools for young men, like some amazing tools and discipline, and I'd love my boys to have that.
Yeah, that's true.
Authority, I think, is a big problem for our kids as well, like, and the youth of the world. It's like, I think,
Can I
Like-
ask you a question?
can I
No.
can I stop you?
Do you think that you find it hard to see some of the issues that the kids have as big issues because you've been to war? Like when they think it's a really big deal, are you like, oh my gosh, it's like, like Harrison last year?
Do you mean you, not the kids?
What do you think?
I think yes, there's definitely some things where I think, oh, get over it. But then there's also things where I make a big deal out of small things. So
Yeah.
I think it's different. Like, I know I don't think that with kids, and I do have empathy for my kids, but I also think that it is important for our children to learn to pick themselves up. I think that's
I agree with that.
I don't
That's
think
fair.
like if I can toughen them up a little bit at home in a safe environment where I can come in and save them if I have to, or like protect them, I'd rather have them learn some of those lessons here and be ready for the world, because the world doesn't hold its punches. So I'd rather them have a bit of grit.
Yeah, without making it political, I think there is like a lack of resilience in
Yeah.
like the current, like probably like teenage generation and below.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like, I think so as well.
There is a generation.
Oh, we have the highest number of mental illnesses diagnosed, don't we? Like in most countries nowadays. Like, and can't ignore that stat. Like, can't ignore the data. So, like, but we have some great boys, and I hope, Julia, to answer your question, I bloody well hope they never come and say that to me.
I really hope they don't want to
Yeah.
do it.
I've actually got one that's kind of relevant to the podcast topic. What would you do if your boys, when they're old enough, say that they want to move to a different country from you guys?
We've already spoken about
Go
that,
for it.
actually. I think could be cool.
Like, when are they gonna say it? Like, can they go boarding school next year?
Harrison says he doesn't want to stay here in Portugal. I think he's always felt like we pulled him away from his friends and family over in the UK. I think he said to us the other week, like, if we went back to England, or I'd want to go to Denmark, or I'd want to go to America. those are 3 countries I want to live in. So I think Harrison will be the one. I think the twins, maybe they'll stay with each other. I don't know. They've lived here longer than they've lived in the UK.
I thought we were going to ask them what they thought of.
To finish us off, because we've gone
Finish you
for a
off?
long time.
What kind of podcast is this?
Each husband has to describe life with their wife. She's a poet and she didn't know it. In 3 words. Ollie, go.
Okay.
Pardon?
Demanding.
That's your first word
Yeah.
of our life together.
Well, no, they're all 3. They're not in order.
Demanding.
Yeah. Demanding, exciting.
We're cutting this all out.
No, I have good reasons. Maybe you should let me talk about it
Sorry.
after.
Oh,
Let him finish.
sorry.
Yeah. Demanding, exciting, and fulfilling.
Okay.
Demanding and feeling are like
Do
conflict.
you want to explain why, or should we leave it there?
No, demanding because I'm a bit of a plodder by design. And Juliet keeps me on my toes. And that's kind of one of the reasons why
Good save.
why I'm with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good save, man.
It was an excellent
Good
save.
He-
Any other? Why is it so exciting and why is it so fulfilling?
I think exciting because we're always doing new things, and
Yeah.
fulfilling because I feel like I'm living a life. I'm actually doing something right now.
You're living life instead of just
Yeah.
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 I think I could say. And before we move on to Mike, I was going to ask Ollie, how do you feel Juliet has represented you in the podcast so far, what you listened to? And are you happy with how she has represented you? Is there anything you want to come back with now you have the open floor?
No, I think we have a platform where I speak my mind as well. You know, like people see me on TikTok, on Juliet's TikTok, and I say what I think on there. And like, we also, as much as like you have your life and your relationship in the kind of out in the open, like we don't say anything that neither one of us disagrees with.
Yeah, and there's loads of it.
Yeah, or like that hasn't been said before. Juliet's not like, I've listened to the podcast and I watch her videos on TikTok. She doesn't go on there and shit talk me, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
I blindsided him. I don't blinds him. He
Yeah.
knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I think I'm really considerate when I crawl around the kitchen trying to not be on camera. And I don't appreciate being taken the piss out of. So.
Go on then, Ollie. How do you think Juliet has changed since she's moved abroad? What do you mean? Oh, I didn't realise this question was coming.
Chris is taking me off guard.
Oh,
I need to
just-
get myself ready with my new fruit.
She's got the whole day crying about it.
Is that you want the same hair as Melly?
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly the same.
That's what I said earlier. I went down well.
I cried about that. Cried about that.
Yeah, safe behind camera.
How has Juliet changed? I think Juliet would probably say,
Oh, you, not me.
well,
Your
my opinion, I think Juliet is living a fuller life. A bit like what I said before. Like when we lived at home, I don't think we really did that much that was that exciting. We kind of lived our lives and we were, you know, to put it simply, like in the kind of rat race. You know, you did what you were supposed to do. You bought a house and then you got married and then you go and have kids and did whatever the next thing was, right? And that was kind of what we were doing. And now we're living a full life. And I think that Juliet would probably agree that she's doing that too. So when I say, how have you changed? You know, you're more outgoing, you're more kind of like outspoken. And
In
I
a
think,
good way.
yeah, and I think you're probably happier.
And that's why I'm demanding.
Yeah, but that's
Anyway, she's too much and I want to send her home.
Basically, you're meant to say that I'm so much more confident.
No, you don't have to tell him what he said.
Okay, we'll take it. Same questions to you.
Well, what's the question?
So you have to explain life with your wife in 3 words.
Demanding.
Adventurous, crazy, and probably a bit romantic. Yeah. Adventurous, great. Like adventurous because always like we're always up for a bit of an adventure and we're quite impulsive.
Mm.
And then crazy because we don't think things very much through. So it always ends up being a crazy journey, or we do stupid things, or like we buy a new car and within 5 minutes reverses straight into a concrete pole. There's always a story in our life.
We bought a puppy and then she broke her foot.
yeah. As an outsider looking in, I would agree with those 3 words.
I agree.
Exactly. Romantic because I think it is romantic, like how we like on our life. Like, our relationship hasn't been a straight like arrow. Like it's been lots of ins and outs, and like we've had to like find love and like unfind love and then find it again. And there's something romantic about the challenges that we've had and then our plans.
I'm blushing.
That's a really lovely and better than
Didn't expect that.
I think you're just sweating.
Ollie.
Do you know what fucks me off? Do you know what fucks me off about this whole thing? Is that I'm so romantic with Ollie and it didn't ever come on you wording. It's a fucking joke.
Mate.
It's a fucking joke. We're cutting this whole thing out.
Oh.
Why? And actually, it was
But
nice.
guys,
I
The
think
thing
it
that
was
I love
also
about you the
told that
most.
ours is like romantic crazy. Like it's not like just romantic like in the movies.
He just sat there and said we fell out of love. I'm like, fucking hell, mate. And you want to have a go at me?
Did you say that?
We did.
Did I miss that?
We did.
Yesterday.
We did. We did before we moved to Portugal.
The one, how she changed? Has she changed?
How's that changed? From yesterday or like last periods?
From moving, like when you moved.
Abby has changed a lot. Like I think for us, part of the move was also to, Abby has changed a lot. Like before we moved here, like we had a clear plan to like get our marriage back on track. And part of that was also like there was a lot of codependency with Abby and your family, like, and all the sisters and the mom and dad. And it was very much felt like Abby and her family and then me on the outside. Like, so from that it's changed a lot and we've become more of a unit. I think Abby has become better at also expressing her emotions in a more constructive way.
Let me just clarify. I wasn't in the gang.
No, you can't say that.
I can clarify that I wasn't really like with Ollie was everything and my family were not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys were slightly different.
I think it was different. Like I think like your family is very intense. Like it still is. I love your family. Like I have some great relationships there, but your family is very intense coming from me, a family where like we're all spread across the world and like we see each other a couple of times a year. And like Abby changed a lot. I think Abby matured a lot. I had to mature a lot as well. Don't get this wrong, but the question was about her, so I don't have to talk about how much I had to change. But I think Abby had to change a lot, change some priorities, change the way she saw, like also compromise a bit in our relationship and see things a little bit from where I come from, not just from how her family and friends saw how our relationship was. You've changed a lot for the better, Some amazing change.
Amazing changes. Oh, there she is. Demanding. And we'll come back to demand. Let's just circle back.
Cycle on back. Do you want to change anything about what you said?
No.
Do you want to go around?
I have a question. UFOs, Ollie.
Yeah, so about these blue aliens that these kids are
exactly.
seeing, right?
Didn't they just find out that they someone has just confirmed? You told me this. So
Whoa. Let's not
NASA,
they
who was
say
it?
this is the closest they've come. And it was not NATO. I do apologize. It was NASA. But that was pretty cool, I think. And you were spot on with one. You called that.
I've been on that train for a long time, saying that there was ancient civilization somewhere in the world.
But what about this asteroid thing that is flying towards Earth? That everybody.
What?
That's been happening for ages, though, right? It's still not here. Hurry up!
Exactly. Like
Hurry up. That could be really dangerous. Please make sure you comment, like, share, etc. Don't forget that we're on all streaming platforms. New episodes are out every single Tuesday. What else can I plug, Julia?
Let us know if you would like them to come back. There's more stories, more fun. They probably don't want to come back because they felt like
Did
they
you
were in the hot
enjoy
seat.
it?
Yeah,
that's good.
I think it's
You
fun.
enjoyed
Do
it?
you know what would be quite good if they came back and they interviewed us so that they don't feel like they're in the hot seat, but they can interview
that'd be
us.
fun.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll do that. Let us know if you would like us to do that. Plus, Juliet is Go and Ollie go live on their TikTok. So we're going to plug that a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, hey, everyone's gonna go.
Do you see my do it? Hi, great.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing
ever
that.
do that.
Brilliant.
If there's any vets out there listening and you're not alone and like there is help to be had, there's probably loads of things that you know better than me, but like looking online and some of the other places that we could see that there is like one phone number that is available around the clock for confidential call center where combat veterans and their families can call to talk about their military experience or any other issue they're facing at their readjustment to civilian life. It's 1-877-927-8387. Yeah.
And thank you all for your service.
Thank you all, your heroes.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless.